Hey, how we doing there, guys and gals? Welcome back to another video. This is my wife's little 125 Ninja. Awesome little bike. But anyway, today's video is going to be about whether or not you need a gear indicator. Let's get to it. So yeah, from a beginner standpoint, having a gear indicator can be useful. However, most riders will tell you that they don't need a gear indicator on their motorcycles, and it shows, because this, even though it's a beginner bike and it's most useful on beginner bikes, there are no gear indicators on this bike. There are aftermarket ones that you can get, but nope, it doesn't come stock with a gear indicator. So what I'm going to do in today's video is, if your bike is the same as this, it doesn't have a gear indicator, how it is you know when to change gears or what gear you are in if you don't have a gear indicator. So what we'll do, we'll jump on. We're a nice little quiet business estate, which is kind of out of hours now, so everyone's going home. So it should be a nice place to practice here a little bit, and make sure you guys do the same thing. Find a nice little quiet area here if you're relatively new to riding, or maybe you've got your motorcycle and you're learning how to ride it. If you are learning to ride, then make sure to go check out our basics video on how to ride a motorcycle. I have it linked on the top corner for you to watch after this video, and it goes through all of the basics about literally how to start the bike, pulling off, moving forward, using the clutch, and doing a little bit of basic gear work. Today's video is going to be a little bit more advanced in that sort of sense, I suppose, for how to change gears or how to know when to change gears and what have you. But anyway, alright, so in this video we're going to assume that you know how to turn on the bike and you know how to put it in first gear. So let's do that. So the bike's in first gear. Alright, now let's pull away, and we're just going to ride around in circles basically around this little estate. So I'm in first at the moment. I know I'm in first because, one, it's revving quite high to go quite a slow speed, but also if I tried pushing the gear lever down any further, it won't go down any further. That's how you know that you're in first. The exact same applies if you're in sixth. The gear lever will not go any higher if you are in sixth. But at this point, you probably know that I need to upshift, right? So let's do that. Alright, now I'm in second. Now, if I'm being truthfully honest with you, the vast majority of the time whenever I'm out riding on the road, I don't know what gear I'm in. But I don't need to know what gear I'm in. Basically, as long as the bike is in this kind of comfortable range, you know, this 5, 6, 7,000 RPM, maybe even a little bit lower than that, you know the bike's doing okay. So I think for a lot of you, upshifting is going to be the easy bit, right? You know when to upshift because you can hear the bike screaming at you. You know that that's when you have to upshift. But downshifting can be a little bit more difficult because you're not necessarily going to know when it is you need to downshift. Like if I downshifted now, the revs are going to go sky high. Here we go. Bang, you see that? So the revs jumped up about 2,000 or 3,000 RPM. Now this is the thing, if you don't have a gear indicator and you don't know what gear you're in, you can't be looking down at the rev counter every 2 seconds. If you're, you know, going through slow stop-start traffic, or maybe you're going around, you know, country roads and stuff like that, you can't look down at your rev counter. You have to be looking at the road. So how are you supposed to know when it is you need to change gear or downshift if you can't hear the revs of the bike? So let's slow down a little bit here, and I'll let you hear what the bike's doing. Now, this is exactly what I was saying to you earlier. I don't even know what gear I'm in. 1, 2. Okay, so I was in third gear there. Now, ask yourselves, at which point should I have downshifted then? I'm back in third again. I'll start slowing down. At which point should I have downshifted? I'm going to give you the answer. We'll get back into third again, and I'll show you when to downshift. Let's go around this bend here. Alright, I'm going to start slowing down. Now I'm going to downshift. Now, I didn't see what the rev counter was then, but I'm going to guess it was 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. Let's do that again. So I'll accelerate. No, that's when I wanted to downshift. So I think that was 3 to 4, maybe 5,000 RPM. But I wasn't looking at the rev counter. I was basically just feeling the bike, knowing what the bike needed at that particular moment. Did it need an upshift? Did it need a downshift? And you'll start to get it as you get experience and as you learn the feel of the bike. Now when you're practicing this, you can do it all in a really slow speed, 20 miles an hour. You can practice this at 20 miles an hour between first, second and third, and just practice between those 3 gears. In some cases you'll find yourself having to downshift twice, like for example if you are slowing to a complete stop, then you might find yourself downshifting more than that. But normally you wouldn't be doing any more than 2 downshifts, I would have said. I mean, here for example, I'm in either 4th or 5th, I don't know, but let's downshift twice. And then I can power out of the corner. It's really good practice to understand what gear you're in, or not necessarily understand what gear you're in, but understand what gear you need. That doesn't have to be a number. Understanding what gear you need. So here, I think I need 3rd, or I need 2 gears down. Whatever that was, I don't know. Let's do it here again. I think I need 2 gears down. So I've got down 2 gears and I can power out of the corner. I've upshifted. I've upshifted again. I need 2 gears down. 1, 2. Alright, then I probably need 1 shift. But that's what I'm saying to you. It's understanding, not understanding which gear you're in, understanding what gear you need to be in. And it doesn't matter which gear it is. As long as you know that 1st is all the way down, you can't push any further, and 6th is all the way up and you can't push any further up. All the other gears in between, you don't need to know. All you need to know is what the bike is doing in terms of its revs. Is it revving comfortably? Is it in high revs? Is it in too low revs? That's all you need to know. But yeah, make sure to find yourself a nice quiet area, or maybe even a car parking area, and just get yourself confident upshifting and downshifting. You will get it. I promise you that you will get it. You will start understanding what gears you need to be in, but you're not going to know what gear that is. But you will start understanding what that is. Like here, for example, I know I need to upshift. I'm accelerating, I need to upshift. Yeah? It's one of those things that you will get. Now don't get me wrong, having a gear indicator is a really nice feature to have on a motorcycle, but there are no guarantees that you will get a gear indicator on any bike. I've actually been quite lucky in the last 2 motorcycles I've had, and that's the ZZR and of course the ZH2. They both have gear indicators, but my ER6 didn't have a gear indicator. My CBR 600RR also didn't have a gear indicator. But that's what I'm saying, you don't need them. You can ride the motorcycle with just as much confidence with or without a gear indicator. And that's the funny thing, even though I have a gear indicator on those bikes, I don't even look at it. And most riders, most experienced riders will tell you the exact same thing, that they never ever look at their gear indicator whenever they're riding. Anyway, guys and girls, hopefully that video has been informative for you. But yeah, it's one of those things that you do pick up. It might seem daunting to begin with, and I think you get the same thing in a car as well. When you first start learning to drive a car, it's a very daunting thing, understanding changing gears, when to change gear. And for a lot of beginners, it's a very difficult thing to understand, not knowing what your gear is, what gear you're in. Even in a car, you know, yes, you know what your hand placements are, you know, on the gear lever. So when you grab the gear stick, you know basically where the position of that gear stick is, so therefore you know what gear you're in. But same goes in a car. You don't need to know what gear you're in. You just need to know whether or not you need to upshift or downshift or block shift. I mean, downshifting or upshifting 2 gears is effectively the same thing as block shifting in a car. But that's the beauty of having a sequential gearbox. You can only go up gears or down gears. You can't go in between gears. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, guys and gals. Like I said, I hope it's been informative for you. Let me know in the comment section for any of you experienced riders whether or not you've got any tips for beginners. And yeah, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe as usual. And we'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.